Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times, welcome to my channel, welcome to what I've been doing for the past few weeks. In case you haven't noticed, I haven't really been uploading videos because I've been playing Total War. Yep, been playing as Rome, as the Western Roman Empire, and yeah, this has pretty much been taking up my time. Why did I not record this? Well, because a single turn of Rome 2 Attila, or Total War Attila, basically takes like 2 hours, so this one game took an awfully long time, and I'm pretty glad that I managed to get to the point where I am, which is basically I've taken over the entire world. Pretty much everywhere on the map. There's some burnt out places that I don't really care to take, but I mean, for the most part, what you see here is the Roman Empire as the Roman Empire never was strong enough to be. Of course, there are some parts of the world that were part of Rome that I haven't gone and taken, like Dacia over here. But for the most part, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Technically, we've beaten the game, but you can see what's going to happen if I hit end turn. Now, this isn't going to be today's video. Today's video is going to be a little bit of something else. I just want to tell you guys, give you an update about what is going on and why there haven't been videos lately. So yeah, let's hit end turn and have the game crash, because that's what it does with the bug that it currently has. Fun. Alright, and welcome to City Skylines. This is what we're actually making our video of for today. So, this is another city builder game. You know, you see me playing these sorts of games quite a bit. I still actually do play SimCity from time to time, despite, you know, all the things. It's actually got a lot of interesting stuff in it that I kind of like. That's kind of just really wonky, bizarre stuff, but, you know, we can get into a bit about that later. This game has its own fair share of interesting things. So, first of all, though, you start off with this sort of set of two-lane roads. We're going to go ahead and just make ourselves more two-lane roads, that we've got an extension out to here. Got a nice bit of a road here, and what we're going to do for now is just build a temporary sort of loop here, so that people are traveling all the way down here, then they turn around and get to wherever it is they're going. For now, what we're going to do, what we're going to do is actually have a one-way. This is very strange. We're going to have a one-way off of this road here to the right, and what we want is to avoid sort of those sharp turns to the left whenever we can help it, because this game is very much about traffic management, just like other city builder games. We're going to go ahead and just build a length of road here like this, and we're going to put that here for now. And what we're going to do is have people who are on this road further down be able to take a right-hand turn, or a left-hand turn, I suppose, either way, onto this main stretch back onto the highway. So that's going to be how people get in and out of here. And then, of course, further on, once people have sort of gotten onto this road, this sort of freeway that we're going to have set up that goes around our block, we're going to have a bit of a one-way here that leads in. I'm going to go ahead and make ourselves some blocks here. We'll make our blocks about that long for now, and we'll make them bricked like that. And then we'll have a bit of an exit here. So this one turns into here. You can now exit through that side, which is fine. Okay, so that's how we've got our basic road set up for now. We're going to go ahead and just build a couple more blocks here. We don't want to build too many just because we'll run out of money. And you can't start off taking a loan, so that's a thing. Alright, let's go ahead and lay down some residential. And we can go ahead and we're going to avoid putting anything in that this little area here, because we're going to be using that for traffic stuff. But we can put down quite a nice amount of residential, I think. I think this is one more. Okay, so we do that. We move our block onto commercial, and then we do some industrial after our commercial stuff. So let's get enough of a gap here for our residential. There we go. And then we'll just have a tiny bit of industrial for now until we start making back our money a little bit. Now, we do need to have a wind turbine generator for the early game, because there's not really much else in terms of options. We can build it here. That seems to be okay. We could build the oil refinery, but it's just so expensive. Okay, so we also need to have power lines, which are a little bit fiddly. We'll have them down to there, and then we'll, of course, have our other utility, which is water. We want the one that's pumping water into the city upstream as much as possible, and the one that's pumping sewage downstream as much as possible, and then we pipe that together. So these things, we just connect them, and then we have that sort of come over here. Just need to avoid going over budget here for a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then we need to power cable ourselves up to both the sewage and to the water pump. Okay, good. And now we can hit the time speed up a little bit, and that should let us start seeing some buildings popping in here. You can see that they should be within range of my power cables. You can see that they are. I can in fact delete this little bit there, get a bit of a refund. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, we've got lots of little houses popping up, and they've got all the utilities they need. They're saying that everything's fine as far as that goes. And this is all going to pop in sort of gradually, and I'm going to get reductions in the demand for residential, and we're going to start seeing more demand for industrial, but we've got a little bit of industrial zones. We're starting to make a little bit less of a mess of ourselves as far as our income goes, as in our losses are dropping, which is always nice. It's good to see your losses drop. So once we start getting some taxpayers actually into the city, things will go a little bit better. But here you can see no one's actually coming yet. Now, if we've done our roads right, which I believe we have, we should be able to get them starting to come in a little bit. Now, one of the things that's a little bit disconcerting is that this road turns both left and right. So I might have to demolish this road or something and have it start being just a one-way circle, depending on how traffic goes, especially if people are going to start using lights here. Yeah, I actually should have done that. We'll do that once I've got a bit more money, though. We're not going to have a problem with traffic for a little while now. And here you can see the big flood of people. So the way this game works is that they spawn in like way up here and way over here or whatever, and they have to get down to here. So as soon as their house spawns, they generate at the side of the map, and then they start heading towards here. And once they've done that, actually their pathing, they don't recalculate paths. So that's one of the peculiar things about this game. Okay, so you can see that my exit is working okay, and I'm already requiring more electricity, so that's fun. Get another 7 there. Don't need to wire it because it is directly adjacent to that other one. It is very hard to build working power at this stage of the game, asshole. Alright, so yeah, we've got our buildings cropping up here. We've got a little bit of a tax stream coming in now, so that's fine. That's all well and good. I need to wait till I'm earning a little bit more money, and I've earned a bit more money before I actually go ahead and redo that road. So we're going to go ahead and slow down the game again. And what we want to do is demolish these roads. Now see, I earned a bit of money for earning that milestone. So we're going to destroy all of this road. And we're going to use those roads as a guideline for my new road that I'm going to be putting in here. Now that does mean that this exit does have to be somewhere else because they can't actually leave anymore. This is now just a perpetual hellscape that they can never escape from. What we're actually going to do is extend this road out this way, and we're going to build another block or two. And we're going to have this one you want it to be as straight as is possible, but I don't know how well I can freehand this. Okay, so I think maybe here? No, that was way off. Jesus. That looks pretty straight, so we're going to do it that way. And then we're going to rebuild our road over here. And then we're going to go ahead and delete this exit road since that no longer leads anywhere in particular. So people have to drive a bit of a wonky route to get out of here, but that's fine. Alright, so next up, we want to increase our industrial capacity, which is fine. All you have to do that is come up and around here and just build more industrial. There we go. We also need to start building some services here, including our landfill. We're going to build one there. And we could start thinking about our health and schools, but we're not going to worry about that just yet because, frankly, we don't have the money for it after redoing that road and all that other stuff, rebuilding more industrial. But with that industrial, we should be kicking in a higher income, so that's perfectly fine. And just look at all this. Look at that smooth traffic. No stopping. There's just no stops whatsoever. Ah, love that. And that's sort of what you want to do. You want to make sure that the main arteries of traffic, which is going to be, for instance, this freeway, has as few turns as possible, and especially as few multi-lane turns as possible. Alright, so we're getting ourselves a little bit of income coming in. We've got sort of what we need as far as zoning goes, but it looks like we could do a little bit more residential. We can just get that by putting that across there. And looks like we're going to be a while off before we can actually afford this clinic, which we do want before we want the schools. That is going to cost us 10k, but we're earning quite a bit of money now. And we're, despite the fact that it's more efficient to do it other ways, we're going to keep drawing in the lines for this along this way. Looks like we're also running out of power again. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop another generator, which, you know, there goes my ability to make a friggin'... Okay, so that should resolve that crisis there. Yeah, but there goes that ability to make my hospital, because now I've spent all my money on that stupid generator, but fortunately we're earning increasing amounts of money, and I've got it on fast, so I mean, we earn the money back pretty quickly, but I want to make sure that I get it before people start getting sick, because that's going to happen pretty quickly. Alright, so one of the things that I haven't done is I haven't added in a sort of wider area that's going to be used for, say, parks and stuff like that that I can use that's going to be a wider one. What I can do is delete this road later on, and that'll give me more room to sort of build stuff in here that would otherwise not fit. And I think that would be a good spot for it, you know, because commercial's, technically speaking, not the one that I don't need as much. Huh. Right, well, we'll ignore that thing about the creepy robots that you can now buy, apparently. Alright. And how much is the school again? School is also 10,000, so pretty much everything's 10,000. It's awful. This weird dystopian future where everything costs a huge amount of money. Alright, so we're at that point where I can afford this. I'm going to go ahead and just drop it right there. You can see that I managed to tuck it in there without destroying any of my existing commercial buildings, although it really doesn't matter. But it's going to be able to sort of zoom in and fix up people in these houses here. Alright, so our residential demands are still going up pretty quickly, in fact. Alright, let's go ahead and let a couple of these houses get demolished. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I've looked at that. I can't afford it, so thank you very much for reminding me how poor I am. Game, that's lovely. Alright, we need to get water to... Uh-oh. Okay, so it's automatically slowed down our game, but that's besides the point since we're now way behind on our utilities here. Alright, let's go ahead and add in the fire department before we add in the school. Let's not go back yet. The fire department, we'll put that here for now. And we also need even more power generators. You just need to constantly be building these wind turbines. It's a little bit annoying how many you honestly need to make. We'll put one here for now, just because it's got a slightly higher yield than other ones that I could potentially put. And it's not going to bother the people in the industrial factories anyway, so that's going to be what we're going to be doing. Now, at this point in time, I can think about buying another tile. And the thing is, if I bought this one, it has some better little bits of air that's sort of further from the city limits. So if I bought that, that would be a good way for me to get that out of the city. So I'm going to probably do that as soon as I can afford to. We're going to increase our speed so that I can. But you can see we've got lots of little sort of problems cropping up already. And we have to earn enough money to manage. Got factories that don't have enough workers, which is awful. But that's fine. It'll go away eventually once I start getting more and more of this residential zoning in. But, you know, when you can't even afford to have houses, it's pretty bad. Okay, how much would this tile cost? Because this is the one that has good access to that. Okay, good. And what we're going to do is we're going to relocate these buildings. Okay, and what we need to do is stop the timer here for a second. Okay, so we can get 8 megawatt production from all these here, if I recall correctly. It does cost us money to relocate them, so this is not the best situation to be in, but we can take out a loan now, so that's fine. High interest, but, you know, it's not the worst. Alright. So if we have to, we can always go ahead and take out a bank loan to help us with our power problems. Let's remember where our other one was, right here. That one was actually producing 8, so I could probably, yeah, let's go without moving that one for now, and we do need these power lines now. And we've got the not enough money problem, so we'll go ahead and we'll take out a loan. We don't need a big one, so we'll just take this one. Loans in this game, you know, it's bad to take them too often, but, you know, you will end up taking out a couple from time to time. There we go. And that is that. So this is going to be a big, yeah, scattering of people just not getting any power, and then it's going to come back online, so that's fine. Alright, so while we're at it, we might as well drop down our police station, maybe? Or the school, actually, since people have been clamoring for that for a while now. We can put our school down here. That would be fine. I think that's okay. We'll demolish a couple houses, but we've also got enough cash from that bank loan left over that we can go ahead and just, hell kind of road did I just put here? Okay, so there we go. And there we go. And we desperately need new people moving in, so that's going to immediately help out. Alright, so what we need now, we need a police department. We can set our policies now, which is good. It looks like our population is growing pretty rapidly, though, which is unfortunate because we still are lacking certain things here. Alright, so we've got our policies here. We can tell people to use less power. We can tell people to use less water, but this is all going to cost us extra money. So, power usage is a useful thing to set. So let's see how it affects our income. It's not a huge impact. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we have to build a high school. We could add in Parks and Rec, which wouldn't matter right now since we don't have any parks yet, but whatever. Yeah, we're just blitzing through these, which is both good and bad. You know, I do want to have that high population here that we've got sort of trending, but at the same time, it's kind of dangerous. Got a lot of services that we still have to catch up on. Okay, and we've also got a bank loan looming over our head. Okay, police department, we'll put that down there. Okay, and that's all of the services so far. We don't have any parks yet, but, I mean, I usually just like adding in the plaza with picnic tables, but the other ones are actually pretty okay. It's just that the plaza with picnic tables is by far the largest effect. And it's not too big either, so you can add this in, for instance, here. It would pretty much make everybody happy everywhere. But it is pretty expensive, so we'll leave that out for now. Alright. Now, what I am going to do at this point in time is actually build another wind turbine. And eventually we're going to get the advanced turbines, which we can build out in the water. Those are going to help a lot, because that is a very windy section of water. We should actually, in fact, check our water. It's perfectly fine. Okay, that's good. Right, so what we're going to do is, now that we've kind of got our population rolling a little bit, we're going to advance out our freeway a little bit. This one way down here, so how do we want to do this? I think to here might be a good idea. Keep the freeway in relatively close, or do we want to go out one more? I think I might want to go out one more, just give a little bit of space. Nah, actually, we're going to have this fairly tight in. And we're going to have this come up this far so that we've got a bit more room for industrial. I'll even put it up here, in fact. Okay, so we're going to have to pause here because this is going to cut our power, which is not ideal. Alright, we don't have enough money for this anyway, so we might as well keep going. But what I want to do is have this square sort of route around this little block here, and that's going to make it much easier for our traffic to sort of move in and out of this little area. And we're going to actually have this freeway extend out this way a little bit. Could in fact add in the reverse line here that goes this way pretty soon, but you know, we'll see. The interchange that's going to end up being around here is going to be a nightmare to actually build, though, so that's something that's going to be fun to look forward to. Alright, so we're desperately in need of more residential zoning, so that's kind of the way things just go when you're doing this. Should have built it a little bit more robustly as far as that goes, but what we can do is we can build out here, and we can go ahead and just ignore the pattern we have set here and build residential there. And what we're going to do is have that pushed out, so what's going to happen is when we go to here, we can have this zone be commercial. And what's going to happen is we've just got a thinner buffer zone between residential and industrial, which is fine by me. Now we do have a little bit of industrial demand as well, so we can go ahead and we can zone in like that. And we can go ahead and just zone in more industrial. And this is extremely, like, dirty industrial too, so this isn't the best stuff. Alright, let's relocate this. Increase those land price values around there. There we go. Okay, how are we doing for power production? It'll probably kick back up once that other one starts spinning. Yeah, there we go. So, that'll probably... Actually, no, it is still falling. Uh-oh. It's especially a bad situation because I'm still out of money. And we still need more residential. Fantastic. Well, let's look around our neighborhood a little bit. You can see that traffic's still very, very smooth. We've got a very low population, though, so it's obvious that it's going to move pretty smoothly here. Alright, so we're going to need to set up another set of burbs, it looks like already. Let's see here. I'm going to need more money before I can really kick in another prefecture sort of, or district, or whatever you want to call it. So that's going to be a thing. Looks like we've got a couple... You can hear that dinging? That's houses upgrading, so I think a couple... Yeah, you can see houses upgrading here. And that can help solve some of our population problems, because once these become higher, they become higher capacity. So if we were to look for... that is a higher density one. Looks like most houses are kind of like that. 3 out of 3. Actually, this one's smaller, and it's a higher level. Well, either way. Alright. So we got all of our little sims heading in and out of the city pretty smoothly here. Let's try and finish this road here. Let's get the refund on this. I don't actually want it to go out quite that far. Okay, and I do need to pause for this again. Okay, so... It's going to cost 6,000 bucks to build this road here. Okay, that's too expensive for right now, so we're going to have to let things be. I think I'm going to need about 20,000 to finish this route that I want to have planned out. And until then, it's got a bit of a freeze on our residential. What I can do to zone around the problem is to temporarily, or even permanently, I can actually just have it strip along here, and that won't actually adversely affect our traffic along the intersections that badly. So that will help ease that pain of our residential needs a little bit. We don't want to call this Rockwood, that's a terrible name. Alright, we need more power already again. We can't afford that really. What we want to do is rename... You know, I was liking that Japan while I was there. I'm going to name this sort of with Japanese theme, so... We're going to call this the Edogawa City. And I'm going to name all of my districts and we're going to theme it. And we're going to see who can figure out what the theme is. So this is going to be the Edogawa district. It's going to be our first one of many, hopefully. And, yeah. Hopefully, it'll lead to some interesting stuff going on. Alright. So this little self-contained unit is going to be closed off relatively later because it is taking me forever to earn enough money to do this. Let's go ahead into our policies here and take off that power usage ban, see if that changes our... Yeah, we do actually need to have it to keep our power going. So that's apparently an act worth enacting. Can we actually name our districts now? No, we can't. Or I can't remember the button to do it. Oh yeah, districts. Okay, so this is going to be the... Don't want to name it Hawthorne Square, we're going to name it the Edogawa District. And we're going to have a mighty city build up around it. You know, I forgot to save this title when I changed the name here. Edogawa City, there we go. Right at the heart of it is Edogawa District. And by heart, I mean sort of like on the edge of it until I get more stuff under control. Alright, perfect. Anyway, you're probably wondering like why I've got such a small area like contained in this bubble of whatever nonsense I'm doing here. It's because basically this lets me control the flow of traffic like really effectively, which is something I prefer doing where possible. Alright, so we can afford to do this finally. 14,000 should be enough to do this. Okay, I think this is straight. But let's do that just for the hell of it. Alright, well if that insists. Really? I'm just a tiny amount short. Okay, so... Oh yeah, and that was why I had it paused. Let's go ahead and demolish these. It gives me a tiny bit of money back, I think. Maybe not. Alright. Uh-oh. Alright, so that'll at least give us a bit of cash, though. So, there's that, I suppose. Alright, so... At this point in time, like, we still need those high schools, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Alright, so let's finish up the circle route. There we go. And that's going to be a little bit sideways, but you know what? That's perfectly fine under these circumstances. We can go ahead and build out the roads to be a little bit further. Just expand out the industrial sector, because there is industrial demand. There's not much, but, like, there is a little bit. There we go. And we can go ahead and zone this for industrial. Alright. We want to make sure this is the 4 tiles in length. I don't think it's going to actually hold, but you know. Alright. There we go. And 4 tiles. So that should be okay. And we spent a lot of money doing that. We can't afford a bus station yet. We can't afford the high school, though, so that's going to be something we want to get done pretty soon. That's going to dramatically increase land values around there, so... Alright. Now, what the hell's complaining about this? The Pearl residence. How is there... You're not even supposed to be zoned for residential. You can't complain about there not being water since you're not supposed to be living there. That should... yeah, that should disappear because of the dezoning. Okay, good. Good. Alright. Okay, my pipes just barely don't reach where they need to, so we're going to actually just drag them along this way. And that'll help us later when we just end up extending them down all the way across, so that sort of pattern makes it very efficient to have your water lines that way. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is move along and build another district right beside this one. Or what we want to do is build another electric generator. Oh god. We're using so much power. I kind of actually want to save up for one of the improved ones, so we'll do that. Looks like we're just a little bit short on energy, but it's hard to say how much. What we can do is go into our income thing, go to our budget, and slightly increase the budget on power. And that will increase the percent output of our power. That will increase the cost of it a little bit, but that's fine. So we're going to do that to deal with that particular crisis for now. And what we're going to do here is just have an off turn here. And this way, people are going to sort of come across to here, and it'll be very easy for them to get from one group area to the next. We're going to have this one sort of move across the other direction from the Edogawa one, so it's going to move in the opposite direction, and that's going to be fine. I don't want them actually... Do I want them? Yeah, let's have them go all the way across here. We'll have it sort of like that. Alright, and we don't have enough workers or something that people are complaining about, blah, blah, blah. Going to basically not worry about that. We're going to go ahead and just have that go right back into there, which is going to mean people are going to be taking a long loop route to get back to where they need to go. But that's fine. And we're going to go ahead and just zone that like that. Going to go ahead and zone that across to here, and that should be fine. Just go ahead and bring this across, and this can go straight down there. We don't need it in between because we don't really plan on fully filling that with residential or anything like that. So hypothetically, people should be building nearer to the power cables, which they indeed do. And this should help, this will be sort of our new expansion region, or whatever you want to think of it as. Alright, so we're basically racing to as much population as we possibly can, as quickly as we possibly can. We're having a little bit of pressure here because we have a lot of demand for residential, but you can see that we're starting to fill up some of it. We're not going to build any new industrial anytime soon because we do need a lot more people living here before we can make that feasible. Now, what we are going to eventually do is have a direct ramp into this area without having to turn off into here, but that's going to be for a little bit later. So you can see a lot of those factory jobs being filled up by those new people moving into the city. What's not enough customers? Yeah, that's an endemic of not enough people living here still, so that's going to start swinging in our favor just a little bit. We do need a cemetery. If I could, somewhere like here would be good. Build one there. And we're going to go ahead and just take out another bank loan. I mean, like, it's probably kind of reckless to take out loans like this, but you know what? I don't particularly mind the interest payments on them for things like, you know, this advanced wind turbine. Because look how much more electricity we get from this. It's like a lot of other electrical turbines that we're getting that. Okay, so that sort of has started spinning up, and that's going to be generating like as much as the rest of our wind turbines combined or something. Not really, but you know. We can use that second bank loan to pay off our first bank loan, and that's going to stop the interest payments. But yeah, it's going to be pretty damn brutal for a little bit here. Alright. There is a mod that makes it so that you automatically demolish all these little buildings here that are in that sort of burnt down state, but it's a good idea to keep them there so that you have an idea of what's going on in your city. I think. That's my opinion on it anyway. You can look at the flow of traffic. It looks like everything's still flowing very, very smoothly, so that's a very good thing. We are, however, having, again, the problems and pressures that come with not enough of one thing or another. At this point, they're asking for more industrial, which is rough because that's very hard to provide. I'm just trying to look at what I have here that's new. I still don't have a park. Let's go ahead and put down one of these parks here, I think. Seems like a good idea. There we go. And that'll be a bit nice. One of the things you can do then is increase the power of that park and recreation, and that should make it so that more people will go to this park for one, and for another it's going to increase the land value by more around it, so that's going to be a very nice thing. You can tell that, like, the kind of person I am because of the way I play it. Like, there's a lot of people who zoom in on the game and play it on slower speed and more relaxed, casual sort of way, but you know, I'm basically going like full speed ahead all the time, 100% of the time. And I think that that's sort of a fun way to play it. Alright, so... okay, so we're going to go ahead and call this area... I'm wondering how obvious I should make with the theming for this naming scheme to be, but let's go ahead and build up a new district here. This is going to be called... Actually, these are called wards in Japan. I'm calling it that because that's, you know, that's where I was. Alright, so we got the Edogawa ward and we got the Shiragi ward. And I'm going to try and make this like a very, very dense city. I want it to be like in Tokyo or something like that kind of density. And I think that that would be pretty interesting if I could get it to be that sort of very, very compacted with very high population density sort of city. One of the things I've noticed here is that the density of this middle road here that I've created is a little bit higher than I think my side roads are. So one of the things I could do is actually upgrade this road to be a higher value, and that won't take out too much stuff around it, so that seems like a good idea to me. Space already occupied. Okay, so, you know, I can't actually do that because looks like we've got some buildings down here that I would have to bulldoze. And you know, things are flowing relatively okay here anyway. I don't have to do that badly. We're going to go ahead and we're going to not upgrade. We're going to use straight roads here. And I forgot that I should also add a center road here. Okay, we're going to do it this way. There we go. Not ideal, but it'll work. Alright, and we can go ahead and build up some more residential. The problem is that I'm going to have to build like a separated industrial park, it looks like, which I don't like doing. The thing is that, like, the direction that my city is going, I can sort of build more industrial by putting in the commercial buffer here and then putting in the industrial. That's not going to work out too well in terms of future-proofing, so what I might do is build a temporary industrial park, which people would go to and then they would go to work there. Not sure where I would put that necessarily. The other alternative is I could build the highway out further until it got to the Shiragi ward, and the freeway out further. Actually, I could just build the freeway out. Well, I don't particularly mind destroying all that, but it's probably not the best. Yeah, you know what, let's go ahead and do it anyway. It doesn't actually make a difference in terms of space efficiency, so we're going to go ahead and build this out to here. I think that's about how far we want it. And then we can just build it, let's have it extend all the way to there. That's about right. Close enough. There we go. Okay, and now that we've done that, we can go ahead and build ourselves our little off-ramp, which is going to be... You know, it's going to be a little bit off, because this is a little bit off-kilter, but... Okay, I want to have another residential zone here, so we can make sure that we've got spacing right by going from there, so we'll do that. A commercial zone here, and then, actually no. We want the commercial zone to be here. This will be the industrial start, so let's go ahead and go to here. Alright. And we can also have people enter and exit this little area via here. Or enter there, anyway. Exit is gonna probably have to be going through the main city. Now let's have an exit ramp here. Okay, there we go. And we'll have our industrial sector expand out to here. We'll have a little bit of a... we can have it down this way. That seems reasonable. And we can then go ahead and build that out to here. Alright, so how's the city doing on the whole? Looks like that actually really helped balance out our city requirements and needs here. We can go ahead and build this extra residential, it looks like, because something's been sort of filling that out really quickly, and it looks like our industrial demand has plummeted for some reason. No idea why, what's going on there, but seems to be okay. Our power requirements are starting to get a bit wonky again. We're going to put down another one of these. It's another 20, and just building lots of those is sort of the way it is in the game right now. It would be nice if they made it a little bit more diverse, but you know, it's the way it is. I'm going to move this away from the central road there a bit so I can upgrade that later. And we're going to need, obviously, fire protection here. Looks like we're having some garbage problems. One of the things that you can do is you can put the garbage on the other side of the freeway, potentially. That would take way too long if I put it there, so I could put it here, but it would take a long time to get back to it. Looks like that road is just a little bit too off. We'll have to build a road for that. Alright, let's go ahead and start up our road system here. Alright, there we go. Alright, perfect. Got a couple more buildings that need to be torn down, that's fine. One of the problems about the game, like, in this stage, is that I can't get these garbage incinerators, so I have to use these landfill sites, which are terrible since they fill up. They're very temporary, transient things. And you kind of need to get your population up as fast as possible so that you can get the garbage disposal units, the ones that actually burn trash. Otherwise, you'll end up with mountains and mountains of landfills that you have to get rid of later on. They're just terrible. Alright, so we've got a second landfill, which is not something I'm super happy about or anything, but Alright, so apparently our water requirements we've exceeded. Right, there we go. And then this one there. Still don't really get why that sewage outflow pipe requires electricity, but you know, you never know. And there's that explosion of residential again. I don't really know sometimes what's going on in this game as far as that goes, because it surges back and forth really badly. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. So at this point in time, you can see like a huge influx of traffic coming along this road here. We're at the point where I'm considering making that change to the road system. Looks like people are also going from one city prefecture to the other, so a way to sort of ease traffic through that area is to build a bit of a road that goes from here. You can use page up. We're just going to have to probably redo that electrical pole, that's fine. Actually, I don't need to because they've got continuous power there. Okay, good. So, this road is going to be basically assisting. I don't like the fact that I turned that into a four-way, but either way, this lets us move traffic back and forth without them having to go onto the freeway necessarily, even though I do want traffic in general to be on the freeway. And that's going to take a little while before that starts to really be put through its paces, but I might even have to put another one in here. Yeah, I might want to put a second overpass in just because there's actually a lot of people who want to go from one side of the city to the other. An astonishingly large amount, actually. Alright, so that's something that we're going to have to fix right away here. As I slowly get down to whatever business. Alright, so... Alright, there we go. And once again, should help ease the traffic along the one side. Just a little bit. And at this point you can see that our problems have been solved quite a bit by just introducing those two roads. Just by cutting out the traffic that's going from one end of the city to the other, we can stop as much stoppage here. It's because it's that right turn and then that immediate left that's sort of screwing things over a little bit, so I wanted to avoid as many people as possible going through here. Alright, so that is perfectly fine. The next step that we want to be doing is we want to have our roads changed so that people are coming off of this area here and are coming directly onto the exit here, so... Actually... No, it was, I needed them to get off of here. Can I fit that between there? I can just barely fit that there. Okay, so we can now have people getting onto this road without having to go all the way to the end of here, so that's going to let us go ahead and clip that. Oops. Did not want to clip both of those. Alright, so we can now go ahead and extend this road out here. And that should be relatively good. We just want to extend this up and around so that we can start working our way towards this other road that we've got access to. Genetically manipulated corn. Okay, so we're going to have this problem with the factories shutting down because we've got this problem with not enough workers. Oops. I just destroyed a building that actually was being productive. Either way, you know, it happens. Alright, let's go ahead and pay off our loan. Nope, can't quite. We can almost pay off our loan. But, yeah, we want to have this sort of free flow of traffic going pretty effectively here. This road isn't going to be used anymore just because people can get off here, but we may as well keep that there just for once we've got this connected up. Now, I'd actually have to buy another one of these. I'd have to buy this one and then bring it up and around this edge here towards the highway, which is what I'm going to be doing eventually. But I don't think I've got enough money or the inclination to do that right yet. And it looks like I need like more residential blocking. I'm just going to check something real quick here. When do I get dense urbanization? I think it's at like 75,000 or something ridiculous like that, but let's not worry about that right yet. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try to reduce our traffic inflow by building ourselves a bus depot. And this thing is a lovely building. It basically, you'll need one, and it'll start solving all of your traffic problems. So what we want to do is just put down a start of the route, and we want it to be on the correct side of the road. What side of the road do people drive on? I should have actually reversed it. Let's see here. And you can see that this adds a huge amount of happiness for like no good reason in particular. It's kind of silly. You can actually get like an entire city to be ridiculously happy just by adding in lots and lots of bus stops. Okay, so what we want is a bit of a circle route essentially. Alright, that completes the line there. So that's going to ping a lot of people happier, and you can see these houses upgrading as a result of that. So now the upgrade's underway. Got slightly higher quality housing for everybody around here, which is nice. Alright, so still got some little bits of problems with not enough workers over here, but honestly there's not a whole lot that I really can do because of the sort of way I'm structuring my towns here. I'm ending up with a lot less in the capacity of just sheer growth potential because I'm sort of planning for the future to a certain extent. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. And then we can go ahead and add in more exits. Okay, that should work. And then a little bit of a road leading straight to there. Alright. Let's see if that changes the traffic flow at all here. We've still got lots of people using this little off-ramp. But we should see some people using this one over here a little bit. I would hope anyway. Let's see how people's journeys start. Alright, we can actually always add more bus routes, so we're going to go ahead and add one over here. It's going to be a lot like our one from the other side. There's fine. Actually, let's delete that one for now, and we'll finish off the roads here. I forgot to actually do that. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so even though those don't really have anything on them, let's go ahead and do that. All right. There we go. And yeah, now we need to go back this way. And we can just go straight to there. Perfect. Okay, we got a couple nice circle routes. What we now want to do is add a couple crossing routes. We want these to be sort of from the central area of wherever, but we also want it to be near an existing bus stop. So we'll go from here. Oops. Right. How did I... I think I had to do it this way. Okay, so once we do that, we're going to come across this bridge here. We're going to come over towards this stop. And then we're going to come back across here. And we're going to complete the line. So that's basically a way for people to get from one bus route to line to the other. Alright, so... we still haven't gotten around to that housing crisis. Alright. So, what we need to do again, build another ward, which is sort of the way of things. Looks like we could also do some commercials, so we'll go ahead and fill out that. Alright. Alright. So, what we want to do, again, just going to go ahead and add in more freeway. Oops. This isn't, I'm using one-ways for this. Okay, so this is going to be a four-way freeway, it looks like, which is not ideal, but, you know, sometimes it happens. So the only way you can get onto it is by turning right, so that's how we want that regardless. And let's have this one come off from here. Spar like that. Now let's have it actually a little bit further in. There we go. And let's go ahead and just make that all residential again. And the point of this, as I said before, is all about keeping our zoning relatively good for roads. Still okay on water and sewage, that's good. Power, we could use a little bit more. Another one of those. Perfect. Okay, and that big boost to our residential should help were not for the fact that they cannot actually get out of there. So that's going to be a thing. Let's see here. We'll make our exit for now, just coming down that way. Entrance, exit, good. Okay. Go. Alright, we've got up to another level of city, that's fine. Lots of new and interesting things that we can add here, but a lot of them are pretty expensive, so we're going to ignore them for a certain extent here. Alright. And I think that that is going to be enough for just about now. We do need some more zoning over here, and we do need to name our new one, but I have to go look something up, because I'm not sure what I want to call this one. I could call it, let's go ahead and zone that out. And let's rename that. We're going to name this after... There we go. That ought to do. Alright, so... people are starting to show up over here. The drive to work is absolutely hellish, so that's going to be a thing. I could build an overpass that leads them down into this industrial area, so that might be how I have to deal with that. We could go ahead and, in fact, add more industrial over to here as well while we're at it. The way I'm probably going to do it is, in fact, probably that. So let's go ahead and zone more roads along here. And we'll have something that jumps over there. We'll have it here. Looks like this is going to be tricky. Yeah, I might have to go off at an angle here like this. Which is fine. Alright, so we've got this sort of connection of like weird overpasses as well as like freeways that people can use. Try and avoid putting the strain on the main roads as much as is possible. Try and prevent sort of multi-lane turns and stuff like that. Why the hell are people parked here? That is... You're an awful person, sir. You're a terrible person. Alright, well, whatever. But yeah, traffic seems to be flowing pretty well, even though everyone is sort of being shoved up and along in the same sort of direction. It looks like I've sort of managed to keep things rolling a little bit smoothly. So far. So far. You never know. This guy's complaining about garbage. That finally seems to have been picked up. It's fine. It's lovely. This garbage is actually full already. Holy crap. Okay, well, we'll need to input another one. We'll just put it right beside that one. I'm just going to wipe out a whole bunch of our industry, but you know. And we can actually go ahead and do that. Alright. I don't even know how long I've been playing now. I should probably stop, but you know, this is a city building game and you know how those get to me. Alright. So, anyway, that's the start of our city. Tell me if you can figure out what the theming is behind this. But, you know, I don't think you'll need any particular clues as to what that is if you either just, you know, use Google or something, I guess. That probably would not be the least effective way to do it. Alright. Contemplating going out one further with these. I'll try it like that. There we go. Yeah, I do indeed. Okay, this more advanced hospital. I could put it up here. I've got enough money for it, so I might as well put one down. More advanced police headquarters and stuff like that would also be a good idea. The more advanced fire department, of course, would be probably the best idea of all of those. But, yeah. You can just hear that lovely ringing sound as people's houses upgrade to the next level. You can just look at the population density. It's already pretty high, even though we're purely suburban so far. If we look at our objectives here... Oops, that's the wrong key. This one. Our next goal is 7,500, and we'll have the ability to bring in higher density residential and stuff like that. And what we're going to do as soon as that kicks in is bring everything up to high density as soon as we can. Let's see, it will also have the incineration plants, which is what we really want. Like, that's if I had to tell you what I really, really want, that's what I would really, really want, as the song goes. Alright, so, I could afford the upgraded police station now, but I don't think I want to get that quite yet. Let's go ahead and plant in some more of those. And we'll go ahead and up the amount of that we got there. And we can do, I think, one more commercial. Line before we start doing lines of commercial. Yeah, that's how this works. Okay, there we go. And our water needs are being met. Our electricity needs are close. I could actually build an oil plant pretty soon, and that would probably be okay. The thing about the oil power plant is that if you ever screw up your roads a little bit, it's going to cause a cascade effect, because it's going to stop delivery of oil to your lovely whatever, and then you're going to end up with a massive deficit of oil and a massive deficit of power, and then everything's going to shut down. It's great. Alright, so things are looking good. Things are sort of moving up in demand sort of equally, which is what I want to see, typically. And we've got a pretty nice upswing in population. So anyway, I hope you found this video enjoyable. It's nice to be back now that I've finally finished my goddamn game of Total War. And of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time.